your vibe, it be different. Can shine in your eyes what I'm missing. Your body Ferrari, but your mind is my interest. You find it, you'll find in the sky. We gon' ride the ecliptic like a Mercury trans. Peace, y'all. Today with Star Card Astrology, and I'm here to give you your daily astrology guidance for Tuesday, July 19th, 2022. Let's get straight into it. So, let's start off talking about how fast Mercury is going here. 2 degrees a day. Venus 1 degree a day. Mars is moving faster than normal. Okay. So we are seeing Mercury in Leo now. Really, the first one to really ingress into Leo before Leo season pops all the way off. And this is really trying to convey a message here because it's at an opposition with Pluto still. Okay. So this is where we have the things that should be at the forefront of our mind is really ourselves. What are we going to change about ourselves? What are we going to change to protect ourselves? What are we going to communicate that comes from a place of self-love to prepare for the changes that Pluto is initiating, has already been initiating, and that is really going to accentuate here. Okay? We've had Aries placements, but now we're going to have Aries placements with Leo placements. The sun's going to ingress into Leo. And that means that the fire is back. Fixed fire. So cardinal fire, Aries, now fixed fire. So there's way more fire in the chart now, or about to be. So what does that mean? All this water that's been going on? Okay, that's emotions, right? And with most of the transits being in Cancer, this is us preparing, all right, for our own comfort, for a change that's unpredictable. Neptune, retrograde, Pisces, okay, trining the sun. So there are things that are coming that we need to be ready for, right? Because you see the sun and Mercury are still in a conjunction. Okay. Oops. I'll go back. They're still in a conjunction here. So they're both opposed Pluto. Okay? So this is where a lot of things can try to change our mind, try to change our path, right? Because the soul, the sun, opposing Pluto as it's retrograde. So it's revealing these changes that have to happen to the structure of reality. our reality, obviously, because this is our solar system. That's how astrology works. This is the Earth in the middle. Okay? So, massive changes are coming that most of us may not be prepared for. I know I'm underprepared. I don't have every resource in the world, but I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can and informing who I can in order to be able to have some type of support system. Because if I can give the information correctly, then, this is where we all need to rely on each other. Okay? So, this moved a little bit. We're going to push that back up because I'm not with all that, my guy. Okay. So, again, we need to make sure that we're looking at our environment, removing things that are not part of the support system, that don't want to form the right team, because we're going to have to rely on each other because we don't know exactly what's coming. We know something is coming. Okay? So, Neptune is adding to this Pluto craziness. All right? And if you have been following me since I was doing this on my old page, on my Star Card Astrology playlist, on my Aaron Odom page, then I've talked about this before. The Pluto return of America. Massive changes, massive things are happening. Okay? And I'm not one to take other astrologers' predictions. I legitimately freestyle these readings. So I put it up and I go. I don't even try to think about too much about what I'm going to say. I just read the chart as if it's a new chart, as if I'm doing somebody's natal chart reading. So for more in-depth and more about what, if you want like an actual prediction of what is coming, then I suggest you go follow the Leo King. You go on High Vibe and become a subscriber, because I'm not going to repeat word for word the things that he says, and I don't want to take away from his mastery of astrology, because it is a sight to be seen and heard, and there's a reason why you have to pay to be on his app and get that type of content. David Lawrence Palmer is the number one astrologer, hands down. There's nobody better than him, nobody who makes more accurate predictions. And I'm in full support. Every course I've ever taken is from him about astrology. But I'm not going to take his content or take away from his ability to make such valid predictions and just regurgitate them. So what I can say is go and subscribe to High Vibe TV. Watch his dailies. Watch his yearly predictions. Watch the sun sign weeklies. And get up to speed on what is potentially coming here, because it's always going to be fairly unpredictable. Okay? It's always going to be fairly unpredictable because of this Neptune aspect. Neptune being retrograde. Okay? So We have Mars at 10 degrees Taurus. And, this is where moving forward takes a lot more energy. It takes a lot more energy, but it can gain a lot of momentum. Okay? So it can be where we're feeling like, we are moving slow. But, you have to look at what's going on in the outside world, to look at what's going on in your personal life, and understand that these things, the most valuable things, take more time. That is the Taurus aspect of Mars and Taurus. Okay? So, what is it that we truly value? That's what we move into. And can we just jump into it? Probably not. Okay? We're going to have to build up energy into that. But it'll be a force when we can fully initialize, or when we can fully move forward. Okay? Last few days of Jupiter direct, of Jupiter moving forward. Jupiter, we can even look here. Jupiter's moving slow. Look at this. Jupiter's moving slow. Why is it moving slow? Because it's getting ready to go retrograde. That's a big deal. It's one of the biggest energies we have out there. Jupiter and Saturn. And I don't know if we need to speak about, the great conjunction, Jupiter and Saturn coming together, the two largest energies, and what that started. But let's just say the whole world changed after that in 2020. Okay? So now we've gone through that. Jupiter has moved into Aries, where it wants us to move forward. It'll bless us for moving forward and figuring out our ego. But now it's going to have us backtrack. Okay? So if we haven't done that, if we haven't been true to that, if we haven't done the work, then what's the opposite of Santa Claus, right? The Grinch who stole Christmas? So don't get caught up thinking everything's going to work out perfectly if you haven't been doing anything. If you haven't been doing the internal work, or if you've been lying to yourself and living through your ego 80 to 90% of the time, then the Grinch is going to come snatch all that back. So I would say don't get caught up in that, because we do have the moon that's in Aries now since yesterday, but it's moving fast. So it's going to catch up to Mars pretty quickly. And, when it does it, we're probably going to feel a lot of different things, because we're going to see a lot of wild things start to happen. Okay? And again, the specifics about these things, go to High Vibe. Go to High Vibe. Okay? Legit. It's the best place for you to get more clarity on exactly what those things could possibly be. Okay? Because what I'm here to do is guide you through the chart and what these energies, the potential of the energies. Okay? The prediction thing, I'm going to leave that to David. I'm going to leave that, to the ones who really are doing the detailed work on this, because I'm not there yet, and I'm not even going to sugarcoat any of it. But I understand it and I see it. But I'm not the one to steal people's content. I'm not the one to steal people's predictions. If I came up with these things myself, then you'll hear me say it. But other than that, I have respect for all of the great astrologers, to not just steal their ideas and steal their hard work. Okay? So, we have Venus is now, 2 degrees Cancer. So, again, the value based on our emotions and our comfort levels. This is highlighted today. We need to make sure that we're in preparation to continue down the path that we're meant to take as comfortable as possible while preparing for these unpredictable things that are going to come out of nowhere. Some people can see where things are going and some people are in denial. But no matter what, the astrology is letting us know that change is inevitable with Pluto retrograde, oppose the sun, oppose Mercury. Change is inevitable. Just Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Change is inevitable. The structure of your life, the structure of government, the structure of schools, all of that has changed. Right? We're seeing even in the car industry, they're giving out loans that they shouldn't even be giving out. They didn't give out years ago. Anybody can get a loan for a car right now. They're giving away cars. If you can't afford the note, they'll still give you the loan. Right now. Okay? And I know that by my own research. So, this is the time to utilize all resources in preparation for the unpredictable. And let me reiterate that. We have Mars that's going to catch up to Uranus really, really quickly because it's moving fast. It's moving pretty fast here. I already showed you. Okay? And luckily, we have the sun at +5. And the sun's going to be pretty strong here coming up. But Saturn is ruling the chart. And Saturn is retrograde. Okay? And Saturn's in a 3-degree square with the south node and the north node. So, again, what are we cutting? Are we cutting anything? Because if we're not, then we're going to be stuck with a lot of things that aren't going to help us move forward and help us prepare for when things just go haywire. Pluto won't fail. Pluto will not fail in transforming everything we know in Capricorn. Because you have to think about what our society is. Our society is a bunch of laws, rules, and regulations. Capricorn rules all that. So Pluto retrograde there, such a powerful energy, means we can see it all change. And it all has been changing. But it all can change even crazier as we see Mars moving very quickly through Taurus right now. All right? So prepare. Please prepare. Prepare your families. Prepare the people around you, the ones you love, for any type of outcome. Don't get crazy. Don't start doing some wild Chris Benoit type stuff. Just know that there are things coming that we can't even fully predict. Some things are not, you can't predict them, right? God comes in and protects you from things that you might have were supposed to experience, or that the chart would have said this was going to happen. But the universe has its own way, which is why we try to understand the language of the universe through astrology the best that we can from our human 3D perspective. But really, this is 5D and beyond that we're trying to understand. So, it's not always going to be exact, but it can be superbly accurate. That's why I do this every day. That's why I feel like there's nothing more in tune with the universe. There's no religion that's more in tune. There's no practice that's more in tune. Maybe human design that implements astrology as well as the chakra system, as well as I Ching, all combined. That, though that plus astrology can prepare you for anything life throws at you. And if there's even going to be things that come out of nowhere. So, let's see what the cards are saying. I already shuffled it up, so I'm just going to cut it. Well, that's where we're going. Judgment. The Judgment card upright. So, we need to have the judgment of the hierarchy. We need to have the judgment of our guides, the angels, higher octaves of ourselves, God, source, whatever you want to call it. We need to implement that judgment today. We need to take heed that, yes, we're being judged every day. There's not one single revelations judgment day that's going to come. We're being judged every day. Why do you think you should be blessed every day that you wake up? Something to think about. Usually I pull one card, but two cards came. So, Queen of Cups. All right. Stay calm. Stay intuitive. Stay family orientated. Have that motherly like compassion for people right now. Because I guarantee you, pretty soon here, we're going to need that compassion in order to stay afloat, in order to survive. Because Mars rules war, ladies and gentlemen. And we've already been on the brink of it. We've already been seeing it happen overseas. We are seeing a lot of uprisings happen in different countries. People rising up and shutting down governments. I believe Sri Lanka, right? So don't be naive and think that things aren't going to happen here because we're the best country and we're protected and we have the best military in the whole world. Well, we learned that with 9/11, that we can be touched. Okay? And whatever they've been putting out there is some type of biological warfare, trying to get people sick so that they do some crazy experimental friggin' medicine. Keep your eyes open. Stay aware. Stay focused and stay on your divine path. So I hope that helps. And until next time, one love.
Cause your vibe it be different, and shine in your eyes what I'm missing. Your body Ferrari, but your mind is my interest. You find in the sky, we gon' ride the eclipse like a Mercury transit.